So I feel like I kind of need to just sit down and explain why I purchased a new camera body, the 6D Mark II, since, like, honestly, some of the money from this came from, like, YouTube ads and Patreon, and when it's someone else's money involved, I feel like, I need to justify spending that. It's not just to up my Instagram game. Though I'm not gonna deny that's kind of part of it. Basically, I have this big event coming up in a few weeks, right? That I would need to have rented this camera for anyways. Because it's full frame, it's lightweight, and it's freaking amazing in low light. And those are the three situations that, the three features that I will need in this situation. And that is why I needed this specific body, the 6D Mark II. And the thing is, right, I need it not just for photography, but for video, because I'm going to be shooting video during this event, and frickin' I'm a vlogger, right? Plus, immediately after this event, like, I'm talking the day after, is VidCon, which I was planning on renting a better camera for anyways, because last year I wasn't super happy with the quality of my footage. Just like the low light on this camera freaking sucks. So that would have been 2 weeks that I would have had to rent this body for. And then I have months of traveling coming up this summer, which I would prefer to have, a decent quality camera for. If you look back at my old vlogs from last year, if you like really pay attention to the scenes where it's nighttime or we're in a low light situation, it just freaking sucks. And I got one chance to document this chapter in my life, so I want it to look as good and be as I remember it. I don't remember it being super noisy and splotchy and just bad. I remember it like nice. And so at that point, I was basically looking at a price that I could just buy a used one. And so I just out of curiosity, I scoured through eBay and found one for significantly less than half price of a new 6D Mark III. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Literally, it was less than the little setup that I'm shooting with right now. And that was when I decided, you know what? I was gonna bite the bullet. I'm just gonna swallow the cost a little bit because I think in the long run it will pay out. Because I use frickin' Canon cameras. I've never had a Canon camera die on me. The first Canon camera I ever purchased was a 20D, a Canon 20D. This is a camera from 2004. Literally, the screen is 1 inch because they weren't that far along in camera technology to put a freaking, decent sized screen where you actually see the photo. That camera still works. In fact, you know what? Hang on. This right here is the oldest camera that I have here in LA. The 7D. This sucker is what the first episodes of Messianic Mondays were shot on.
Please tell me I'm not the only one that has had their earphones savagely ripped from their ears right in the middle of a good part of a podcast.
That means I purchased this thing in like early 2013. And it's still going strong. I mean, now granted, I don't use it very often anymore because the autofocus on video, there is no autofocus for video. So, and that's kind of a deal breaker because, this is what I do. And actually, since I bring that up, I was deliberating between this and the 5D Mark III, but I eventually decided on this because it has freaking autofocus for video, and yeah, I talked about this yesterday. So basically, I'm expecting to use this camera for years and years and years. There's no going back, basically. And honestly, it's kind of nice because I've basically set this camera to just be here in my room at my desk versus this is a lot more mobile, right? So like when I have to go, I don't have to deal with like fiddling with taking this camera off of the tripod and off all the stands and all the mounts and everything. And no, I just grab this and head out. It's really nice, okay? So yeah, I'm really excited about the future and about this thing, and obviously all the freaking features, the GPS, the Wi-Fi, which is absolutely amazing, being able to send photos directly to your phone, because that's what I use. That was the big thing about this camera, was that I could do that for the first time, and I started using that for my freaking Instagram stories, and now that's pretty much all I do. I really pride myself, by the way, on my Instagram stories. Shameless plug. You know what this is? This can basically do everything that this camera can do better. And the final reason that I'm switching is just because I find myself constantly pushing against the limits of this camera, of what I can do. Like I definitely recommend, you know, learn how to use your gear to its absolute fullest potential. But eventually there does come a point where you need to do things when your creative endeavors, like you need to do things beyond the limits when the camera itself is holding you back. And that was what was happening to me. And so at that point, I know it's time to upgrade. So I did, and I feel like this has opened up a whole new world to me. And so I'm really excited. Do I regret it? Absolutely not. So yeah, thank you for just letting me sit here and talk about something I really love, cameras, for a while, because it's just, this is a big thing in my life, okay? I very rarely get new tools, and I just got one, and so I am happy. I'm a happy little clam, okay? And I'm excited for the creative projects that this new, more powerful, more versatile tool will unlock. Stay positive. 'Cause I sure am right now.
This is me, I still